With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Breeny Lee, and welcome to the Pep Talk podcast, where we have real, raw, relatable conversations with the pep talk you need.
You have the power to create your future with the choices that you make today.
What do you bring to the table? Baby, I am the table. Love yourself a little bit more than that, ladies. Come on.
Dust settles, queens don't.
And don't forget, know your worth and then add tax.
Period.
So how do we recognize when fear is causing you to run away from a relationship? So I've got this question a lot, and it comes up quite a bit when I do Q&As over on my Instagram. So add me on Instagram if you haven't already. I like to do a lot of Instagram lives, and I answer most of your questions on those lives. The difference between intuition and insecurity, I think it's a great question, and definitely a question that I can relate to. I want to break them down and help you to extinguish between the two. So let's start with insecurity. The root cause of insecurity is fear. But fear in and of itself is just false evidence appearing real. And just because you feel fear does not mean that there is danger present. Just think about it. Our bodies and our minds are set up in a way for self-preservation, which aren't we just so glad for? But unfortunately, sometimes our bodies send off false signals and false alarms. Have you ever been walking down a dark road and you just jumped at the sight of your own shadow? Was there danger present? No. But in that split second, your whole body reacted as though there was danger present. So just because we feel fear does not automatically mean that there is danger present or danger ahead. So likewise in relationships, and I feel like a lot of us know what failure looks like. We've experienced it and we know what to avoid by now. We are more familiar with red flags than China. However, you are so adept to notice a red flag that you don't even know how to spot a green one. We are so familiar with failure that success frightens us. It's the fear of the unknown and the perceived threat of what we've once known. When I first started dating my partner, I was afraid, but I was not afraid of him. I saw clearly how good he was and how good he could be for me. But what I was afraid of was the unknown. I was afraid of walking down a path I had never walked before. I was afraid of this thing actually working out. I was afraid of this relationship actually going past the talking phase. I was afraid that this couldn't last. And a lot of our insecurities come from past lived experiences. And those lived experiences are edged out in our minds, and we hold on to those things because they are familiar. They make us feel safe because it is predictable. We can use them, or we think we can use them, as predictions for the future, and we can't. And so what happens is, because we start to feel these things so strongly, we assume it must be our intuition. It must be our intuition telling us to jump ship, telling us it's time to end this relationship, telling us it's time to move on. But the problem is, sometimes our fears are louder than our intuition, and we may mistake the two. But fear does something to you. You feel it. You feel it so strongly. You know when you're afraid because it causes you to want to do 3 things: fight, flight, or freeze. These are the 3 reactions when we feel fear. So you'll know when your insecurities are rearing up its ugly head because of the eruption it makes inside of you. Intuition, on the other hand, though, is a small voice that creates peace, that creates clarity and not chaos. It is an inside knowing that gently prods you and alerts you to tell you that no, baby girl, this isn't it. It doesn't cause the same reaction in your body that fear does. Intuition happens in your heart and it happens in your mind. And because it isn't as loud as fear is, we often silence that voice. We shut that voice down until it's too late. And then we look back in hindsight and say, what? I knew something wasn't right. I just had the feeling. It's always, I just had a feeling about this. And what do they say? The woman's intuition is rarely ever wrong. So when you're in a relationship with someone or you're dating someone and something just doesn't feel right, what they're saying doesn't sound right, what they are doing doesn't align up with who they profess to be. When you're catching them in lies or they're trying to gaslight you and second guess what you have actually seen with your own eyes. When you're getting random ad requests from multiple women, when women are messaging you, telling you stuff about this guy that you're dating, when you have random people trying to spy in on your relationship, asking you suggestive questions, when he's secretive about his whereabouts, when he takes his phone with him whenever he leaves the room, and he's just doing things that have to make you stop and think, that ain't right. But intuition causes you to have a mature response of, okay, I see what you're doing and I'm gonna keep my dignity and I'm gonna leave like ASAP. Fear or insecurity is irrational and it doesn't go off of actual facts or evidence. It's just the emotions that are causing you to run. Ultimately, insecurity is based off of lies, whereas intuition is based off of truth. Truth signals that you're getting in your gut about a person, a situation, whatever. And insecurity has its roots in lack of worth. However, intuition has its roots in worth. It's like, I know my worth. I'm not going to tolerate this. Your intuition wants what's best for you. Your insecurity, on the other hand, just wants to keep you safe at all costs, even if it means ruining relationships and ruining opportunities. So, are you self-sabotaging this opportunity because you don't feel safe? Because you don't feel like you're good enough or capable? Or is your intuition warning you of trouble ahead? What do you think? Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Pep Talk podcast. It would mean so much to me if you can leave a review, rate this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Stay fabulous, ladies.